Hello and welcome to another episode of Never Onside. Hi, this is Joseph, and joining me as usual is Mayur, but I'm not at home as usual, so I'm recording from Mumbai in a makeshift arrangement. So it's a season break, and it's time for the biggest show in the world. The World Cup is here, and we're also excited to, you know, s- to get it started. So let's just look back at the results in the past game week, and then we'll come back to our World Cup part of the video. So let's go.
Yes. So let's start with Premier League first of all, host. So the week started very surprisingly with City losing their first game. So I
Right.
saw the game, and it was bad game for City, like probably the worst game they have played in the last 3-4 years. I remember. So nothing was going according to their plan. The passing was sloppy. They weren't able to break down Brentford, and everything whatever you thought could go wrong went wrong. So
Right.
and Pep came out and said after the press conference it was a bad day and we move on, and he will now be recollecting everything and will be rethinking about his the strategies and everything for the second half of the season.
Right.
Yes. Moving on to the second game, host Liverpool Southampton. Do you remember anything about it?
Surprisingly, I don't. I guess Darwin Nunes scored. I'm sure, and yeah. So Liverpool are in a good run of form right now. After having a breakdown, they seem to have won a lot of matches now, and it's good that at least in the FIFA World Cup break they are going into it with some confidence now. And the likes of Salah and Trent and people like that needed it, to be honest. Yeah.
And surprisingly, if you compare to the players going to World Cup, City have 16 and Liverpool just have 7. So
Oh,
overall, a good time for Klopp to gather the
readjust
team.
and
And yes, yes,
recalibrate.
and
Yeah, right.
yes, yes. So expectedly, they were going to win the game. Everyone expected, and the result they delivered. Moving on to the Spurs game, 4-3, and Spurs are making this a habit of coming back from dead and like scoring in extra times and everything, and they did something similar this week as well. With it looked like they almost would get out of the top four, but somehow they came back, scored
Yeah.
against, made a interesting match more interesting by scoring those goals, and won four
Yeah.
three eventually. So again, something for Conte to work upon during the break. The consistency is not there. They're struggling quite a lot. So interesting to see how they come back. Speaking
Right.
about not being consistent, there is another team who is being very consistent. That is Newcastle Chelsea. Sorry, that is Newcastle, and they played against Chelsea. So, whose thoughts about this game? A surprising
You
win for you?
Not really. I expected Newcastle to win it actually, judging by how Chelsea were struggling the front two, especially Sterling and Aubameyang, and how the defense and attack seems to be very distant between them, and there is no fluidity in between. So I was expecting a Newcastle win, to be honest, especially at their home, and it's exactly what happened. And Newcastle bossed Chelsea a lot in this match, and Chelsea didn't have the answers to someone like Wilson, Joelinton, Almiron, Bruno Guimaraes. So there are so many attacking fronts for Newcastle, but Chelsea seems to struggle in terms of creating any meaningful chances as well. And in the Sunday matches, I feel Arsenal are dominating things again, and it's good to see them, ending on a high as well. And the Brighton Aston Villa match, Aston Villa have turned a corner with Unai Emery, I guess, after sacking Gerrard. And the final match was the United versus Fulham match, which ended dramatically with Garnacho scoring in the 93rd minute. And this guy is very good and is a very promising sign for United moving forward, especially him scoring from the left side, running that acceleration that he had is very good. Like, so something to look forward in the future for United
So
in
definitely,
terms of, like, in this tumultuous times. It's something to look forward to.
yes, so definitely good times for United to look forward to. So just to sum up, currently the Premier League table is Arsenal is at the top with 5 points clear. Second are City. at 32. Then third are Newcastle at 30 points. Tottenham just making it by 29 points. So looked like United might have dropped points, but they came back, and so it means they are fifth currently with 26 points, and sixth is Liverpool with 22 points. So that's the Premier League standing. Now let's move on to La Liga. So just to cover La Liga again, Athletic Club under Valverde look to be back on track. Moving on to Osasuna versus Barcelona. Barcelona considered a early red card in the form of Lewandowski,
Right.
and they had to play 60 minutes with just 10 men. So yeah, so generally we have spoken about characters and everything in the past of Barcelona, but this time around they showed their character. They came back. Xavi made some interesting changes, which eventually led to us scoring and winning it. So it was a very instrumental win and a very big statement from Barcelona that yes, we are competing in La Liga. Moving on to Sevilla versus Real Sociedad. Sociedad scored 2 goals and won the game. Atletico again, we have seen they are struggling quite a lot. We have seen they went out of their Champions League group as well, not even in Europa League. Now in La Liga as well, they are struggling quite a lot. And to end the turn of La Liga, Madrid, who lost their previous game, but yeah, they came back successfully 2-1. Cadiz, who was easier opponent compared, Real Madrid came in and did their business. So just to take a look at the La Liga table, Barcelona is currently at the top with 37 points. Real Madrid are 2 points behind with 35 points. Then the rest of the pack comes with Real Sociedad being third, 26 points. Athletic Club being fourth, 24 points. And Atletico Madrid with 24 points as well, but a bad goal difference making them fifth. So that's it for La Liga. Let's move on to Bundesliga.
Yeah, so Bundesliga, the big story is that Dortmund dropped points. They lost to Mönchengladbach, I guess. Yeah, and also Bayern won 0-2, and Union Berlin lost. So Bayern will be extending their lead on top of the table going into the international break. And yeah, that's it from Bundesliga.
Yes. So just to again sum up their table as well, Bayern clearly at the top with 4 points different at the top. So second team. So interestingly, Berlin played against Freiburg, who are currently second. They scored those 4 goals and came in second. They are at 30 points. Third is RB Leipzig with 28 points. Frankfurt is fourth with 27 points. Union Berlin same with 27 points, but at fifth, and Dortmund at sixth with 25 points. So that's it for Bundesliga. Let's move on to League One. So League One again, Leon as usual again struggling a bit. They haven't been the best this season. They have struggled, and again they drop points here. PSG comfortable victory. Messi played, Neymar played, Mbappe played. Everyone before going to their respective national teams, they played, put up a show, 1-5-0. They came in and they delivered. Next on is Marseille, who won their game against Monaco, a big derby. They won the game by 3 goals. So yeah, so that's it for League One. I'll just read out the table for League One. Again, PSG is at the top with
Lens
41
maybe second.
points. Yes, that you're right. Lens is second with 36 points, though the difference is of 5 points. Then Rennes at 31 points. Then Marseille at 30 points, fourth, and then fifth is Lorient at 28 points. And then every other team, Monaco, Lille, Lyon, those are at 6, 7, 8. So let's move on to Serie A. Yes, host,
Yeah,
you can take.
Serie A. So most of the top teams have won in this round of fixtures. Inter with a 2-3 win over Atlanta. And some interesting matches. Juventus, I think, have won 7 matches in a row, having had a difficulty starting initially, and now they seem to have got some momentum leading into the World Cup. And yeah, so that's the story. And Napoli on top, I'm sure.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
How's the table
So yeah,
looking?
yes. So we were saying this is going to be an interesting season. Looks like most of the teams are in. But just to give you a surprising stat, Napoli's lead is by 8 points, which is the highest in the top five European league. So that gives you an indication that how Napoli have been good and dominating in the Serie A.
Right.
So that is
They are unbeaten in 13 matches or something like that.
yes. So that is a great stat, and the points do justify it. Second are AC Milan, sorry, with 33 points. As you mentioned, Juve won 7 games in a row. They are currently in third. They had a very bad start to the season, but looks like they have turned the tables. They are third with 31 points. Lazio is fourth with 30 points. Then come Inter with 30 points as well. And then Atlanta, Roma with 27 points.
All
So
right.
again, not looking good for Roma, whereas Juventus have turned the table. So that's it for Serie A. Let's move quickly on to our FPL teams. Yes, host. So,
Yeah.
host, yes, can you take us? Looks like you didn't make any transfers this week. So,
Yeah,
what was it?
I had two free transfers, but I was busy with World Cup matches and things like that, so I couldn't change my team. And gladly, like I would have taken out someone like I'm not sure who I was planning to take out, but it was good that I didn't, and eventually I outscored most of the people. So, and I thought I would bring in Marshall for Wilson. Good, I didn't do that. So overall, I'm happy like with 52,
Yes.
10 more than the average, almost 10 more than the average without any hits. Yeah,
Yes. So just to share, Jose's overall rank currently is 1.3 million, and his overall points are 881. So that is Jose's current rank, and he got 52 this week. Let's move, and now it's unlimited wildcard. So I guess we wouldn't be touching our teams until the World Cup is completely, or no
yeah,
point,
right,
because the prices have been freezed and everything.
right,
So no
right.
point.
Yeah,
For me, I made two transfers, took a -4 first hit of the season, took in Darwin and Marshall for Tony and Mitrovic. Darwin came in clutch, scored 2 goals, and gave those important points, and was a big differential. Marshall, I guess Marshall played really well, right? Host? He made
yeah,
that pre-assist
he
for
did.
the first goal.
He had chances he could have buried, but he was unlucky on the day. And towards the end of the match, he was feeling a bit like he's not fully fit, I guess.
Fully.
So
Yes.
that it was very evident from that. So
But
yeah,
definitely was a good work. Punt did pay off. 42, a big red arrow. My current rank is 50,000, I guess. Let me just check. Yes, my rank is 51,000, and my overall points are 963. So that is our half
51,000 like overall
overall.
it's
Yes,
50,
overall.
51,000. That is
Yes.
great.
Yes, and overall points are 963. So that's it from us for the first half of the season in fantasy, and as well as in the top 5 European leagues. Hopefully you would have liked our coverage till now. So let's move on, the flavor of